situated first. Yeah, can you huh? Oh, like that? Oh, for sure. Water. Check on the stream, make sure everything's good. Water. Shalom. Put it up under here. That's what I usually do. More stable light. Light something up. Yeah, hopefully so. That wind blowing, so it's gonna give it some time. Though. All right, shalom, shalom. We the Hebrew Israelites. We come out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America. And so the so-called Negroes, the so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans know that you are the true children of Israel according to the Holy Scriptures. You're the only nation of people upon the planet Earth that have a chance of salvation and a opportunity to repent according to the book of Acts, the 5th chapter and the 31st verse, right? We're also out here to let Esau Edom know, the so-called white man, that his kingdom, Babylon the Great, according to the Holy Scriptures, which is spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt, which breaks down to America, is going to be destroyed very soon, all right? And it's going to be the indignation, the righteous anger of our Lord Yahweh, whom this Lord ignorantly calls God, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, whom this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which his real name is Yahweh Shai. So before we officially get started, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. Want to send double honor to the elders, apostles, and bishops at Great Millstone who rule well and push sound doctrine. Much love to the scattered elect and to the sincere women out there that subscribe to the true doctrine. Much love as well to you sincere brothers, risking your life and your freedom to do this work week in and week out as well. So we're gonna get straight into it. Just paying attention to the times. We know that we're coming to an end. All right. We see Esau Edom is pushing this MOTB to its highest extent. He's pushing national surveillance to its highest extent right now with the Palantir, right? And ultimately, that's not. Well, the Spirit is going to touch on that too. But really, what I want to get into is, these are things that just allude to our kingdom coming. All right. So, there's a statement. So the kingdom. There's a statement. It slipped my mind. Let's get into the book of Romans, the 9th chapter. So the kingdom that's to come, right? It's for the nation of Israel only. All right. Right now, we're not living in peace. All right. The only time that we had peace, honestly, had peace is during the time of the reign of King Solomon. Okay, which was 40 years of peace, where we were able actually to. The heathen weren't fucking with us. Okay. The heathen nations weren't fucking with us. We were able to actually serve our Lord, and we weren't. We were in our own dynamic, man. Okay, but there's going to be an everlasting kingdom, everlasting peace that comes according to the book of 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter, the 52nd verse on down, where it speaks of that coming to pass. All right, so right now we have to wait for, let's get 2nd Ezra 2. I believe it's 2nd Ezra either 2 or 4, the evil sown. Right, let's get that, because the evil is definitely sown in the earth, but we're going to get the precept, back it up, and Lord willing, the spirit moves throughout the camp. This is edifying, and that that especially that you elders and you younger brothers out there are edified as well. So let's get into it.
Which one you want first?
I want the Ezra's first. The evil that is sown.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and verse 30. For the grain of evil seed had been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness had it brought up unto this time.
Right. So that there is talking about, it's talking about how with Adam, that's where the first form of sin came, which really it came through the deceitfulness of Eve, and it just Adam was a progenitor of that because of Eve, right? And that passed down to the nation of Israel from generation to generation. All right, where we were going to have the sinful nature. We weren't going to be serving the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai to our full extent. Okay, now in this day and age, we are coming back. You have the elect waking up. You have certain men that are waking up throughout the earth, even women. But right now, collectively, the nation of Israel is a sinful nation. Okay. Go ahead.
And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come?
Right, and that time of threshing is not yet come, but it is to come. So just qualifying the statement that I made, that from generation to generation, that sinful nature was going to be in us. But that time of threshing, which is ultimately the time of judgment of Yahweh Shem Shai upon this evil and sinful kingdom, that's when that time of threshing is, which is going to come in this day and age in our time. Okay? Yeah.
Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed hath brought forth.
I think you gotta start up with a couple verse 28.
Yeah, go up a little bit about the shot. Let me see. What this 2nd Ezra 4. Yeah. I mean, but that's still good, because it still correlates with this time. The evil is sown.
Yeah, you gotta start at verse 28.
28.
Yeah. Yep. Go 28. Matter of fact, you go to 28.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 4 verse 28. But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come.
Right, the evil is sown. Okay, can you get the etymology on the word sown? Okay, because when it says the evil is sown, which we're gonna get into the word, it's engraved. It's established in a sense. Okay, and how is it established? It's ultimately established by the rulers that be, as it says in Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and that wicked we know being the Rashai, which is what the Hebrew word is for wicked, which is a criminal, a guilty one, is Esau or Edom, the one who has the power to establish different laws and legislations where you stay. The ones who's able to tell you that Mo activity should be accepted. You should love everybody for who they are, or that you should be able to to worship whatever deity that you want to. This is the rulers that be. This is what they establish. Okay, which it goes way deeper. Okay, but let's get that word sown, Bible Rashad, then we get back to that.
God, the etymology for sown, it doesn't give anything on sown, but it goes back to sow, which is to scatter seed upon the ground or planted in the earth, disseminate.
Yeah. And how's that seed scattered? Another way that seed is scattered is via through democracy. Okay, that's one thing that the establishment of wickedness was really set here in America, as it says in that when it speaks about the Malachi, which speaks about the border of wickedness, right? That is established right here in Babylon the Great. But those same some of those different cultures that I mentioned, Mo activity, being able to be polytheistic, that's spread throughout the world. Okay, there are ways of women wearing pants, okay, because that's going against the laws. Because, but yeah, we can get that. But that's that seed that's been spread, man. It's been spread, and how it's been watered, be it through the internet. Because the more you see something, the more I'll say the more that people see something, the more they believe it to be what's the right thing to do, and that's what we see. That's why we. And in the men of the Lord, we're fed up with it. We're getting fed up with seeing unlawlessness spread throughout and being lifted up. Okay, as it says in Ecclesiastes 10:7, I believe it. No, is it 10:7 where it says that we don't have to get that. It says folly is set in great dignity. Okay, but you get the precept that you have. We don't have to get that Ecclesiastes.
This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 3. It says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." You know, so that wine comes from Babylon the Great, like the brother was speaking about. America is Babylon the Great. And that wine is the different philosophies, the different things that Babylon pushes. Like he was naming some. Democracy, women's rights, LGBTQ+, just the culture. Just like you see over there in China, now they're wearing, three-piece suits. They're trying to be businessmen following after that American type way. American science. These different countries are taking on American culture. Even, countries in the East are now taking on Western culture. And so this scripture is speaking about, the nations are taking part in that wine, in that fornication, which ultimately is straying away from the Most High Yahweh.
That's it. Hey, and that's a beautiful point that you made, because it says that in the book of Psalms, the 10th chapter, because the point of Esau Edom is to gather his own. Hey, I was going to do a lesson on that, how it's easy to become a disciple of Satan, because Satan, he has his own disciples, as the Lord has his disciples and his men that are set up to serve him. Well, Satan, by sowing that seed throughout the earth, especially predominantly here in Babylon the Great, he creates his own disciples. All right, that has spread the word. Hey, starting with the end of, man. The end of is all for whatever Esau Edom is for. Which when the apostles first said it, it was jokingly funny, but the more I thought about it, it became more and more. It made more sense when they said that the end of is Esau Edom's pit bull, man. Right? Anybody that comes in that gate to say, "Hey, man, that ain't right," you have that pit bull at the gate. Nigga, get out of here, nigga. This is what it is, type deal. Therefore, and then there's laws to protect those pit bulls to say, this is what it is, right? Because men follow after women any goddamn way. But the point is that that seed has been sown and has been established and is deeply engraved into this place. That's why it says in the book of Revelation 18, Esau Edom's sins have reached up to the heavens, man. Because not only is it rooted, but it is also grown with great wickedness, man. Okay. Was there more to that precept?
But Salaki, because I was looking, I'm like, I was thinking about another precept. That precept still applies, but in Jeremiah 51:7, where it says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. And now the nations are mad, but that's would have been a more applicable scripture, which is showing the nations are mad now, walking after the same mindset as Babylon. Now you got, girls being, whores in all these other countries when their culture is for the women to be more, chaste or chaste, however you pronounce it. But, they're supposed to be, modest. But this Babylonian culture is affecting these different places to where now they want to liberate themselves.
Yeah.
They want to dress however they want to. Slack it.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Cause I just thought about like there's certain places in the world. I believe it's the Ghanaian president or something like that. They putting you in prison for 2 to 5 years for being a mo. And that's not the only place. There's places outside of that as well. Because I was looking it up. There's like I think there's like 40 plus countries, like outside 40 plus countries that are banning that, and they have laws to imprison you, or some places even allegedly to put you to unalive you for being a mo. But that's what America pushes. So, you know, those ways throughout the earth collectively is being put out bit by bit until ultimately Babylon the Great is put down, man. Okay, it says he will now let until, let's get that in 2 Thessalonians, until he be taken out of the way. All right, and Esau Edom is about to be taken out of the way, man. Okay, and this is all by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This is not just the words that we're speaking because we're angry, we're upset. We are angry and upset, but at the same time, we're coming with logic, and our logic comes through the Bible. It doesn't come from our own heart, because Jeremiah says that the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So we don't know anything but what these scriptures say. And the scriptures, when the scriptures speak vehemently against the works of this world, and if we believe in this word, it's going to upset us. All right, but let's get that.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
And who's letting? The Heavenly Father Yahweh is letting. That even goes into the book of 2nd Ezra. I believe that's the 3rd chapter, where you had Ezra. He was questioning and says, are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion? How thou sufferest thou the wicked doers to prosper? That's the correlation. The Most High is allowing it. But this for a purpose. Not that all humanity may be done away with. Not that this man may rule forever. But that he may build up a good enough rap sheet, which he's already built up a great one, build up a good enough rap sheet for the Lord to smack his ass, man. Okay? This is why the Most High said he's long suffering unto us, because we got to endure it. We got to sit here and watch this man be unfair, man. We got to sit here and watch him discriminate vehemently against these people, getting the southern tribe, the northern tribes out of here, getting now focusing on the southern tribes. But ain't messing with the Arabs, the ones who've been quote unquote over time the terrorists of the world. They don't get any attention. But here it is, the ones who are scrapping and scraping and working and trying to survive. These are the ones who are getting pushed to the side. These are the ones who are receiving that draconian type measure like activity. Where you taking them, and that's just hey, history repeats itself, man. They did the same thing during the time of the siege, man, where men and women were getting killed or taken away from their children. They're doing the same thing now, man. But nobody else is getting any attention. But this is all prophecy. It's all prophecy. Esau Edom was meant to come down on Jacob with cruel wrath, man. Was that to that precept? That Thessalonians?
Yeah, that was. Well, let me go back to it and make sure that. There's more to it. I just don't know if you were trying to get into it.
Really just getting out of the way.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, fine.
It was going to be revealed and strong.
Yeah. That point was made.
So, can I grab this precept?
Yeah. Bible shop.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5 says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword.
Now, where did this hatred essentially come from? This hatred essentially came from when you go back to the book of Genesis during the time of Cain and Abel. All right, it started there. All right, where we had Abel who brought the righteous sacrifice to the Lord. Okay, the first fruits of the land. And what did Cain? What did he bring? He brought a sacrifice that wasn't acceptable to the Lord. Therefore, his sacrifice was despised. What did he do? He got jealous. And in his jealousy, what did he do? He murdered his brother. Okay? Going to the next incarnation. Right? Esau and Jacob. When Esau didn't receive that blessing as he was supplanted by our forefather Jacob, what did he say? I'm going to just paraphrase it. As soon as my father gone, I'm going to kill this dude, man. My father's almost, he's old in age. He's about to die. As soon as my father's dead, I'm going to kill Jacob. That same mindset has never changed. And you go into the book of Exodus, where it said that there will be war between us and Amalek from generation to generation. So it has not changed, man. That's a perpetual, everlasting hatred that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has had for these tribes, man. Go ahead.
It says, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood.
Yeah, and blood is prepared. Why? What did it say after that?
And blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood.
Since thou hast not hated blood.
Even blood shall pursue.
Because you all good. As it says, as they say in the world, and it's correlated with the scriptures too, when you go into Revelation 13 and 9, right? Because it says that well, in the world, what they say is you live by the sword, you die by the sword, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. So the same way that Esau came and raped, robbed, murdered, slaughtered, ultimately what you call that genocide. The fact that he attempted this multiple times against these people, that same thing is coming back to you full circle. All right? And the Most High said it was going to be like that. Let's get Revelation 13:9 real quick, and then we can move on back to the subject. You know?
Revelation chapter 13.
No, you good.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Right, and that's another thing. You know how these Edomites would say that about slavery. Oh, that was in the past, let's let it go. And you know, I started meditating more and more on that statement within the last few days. It's really that they don't want to go through captivity. You're willing to put somebody through it, but you're not willing to be fair and be like, okay, well, yeah, we did have y'all. You know, we had y'all locked up for 400 some years, man. Yeah, we did do y'all dirty. All right, we'll pay our dues. They're like, no, man, within the past, we all brothers now. No, we're not brothers, man. The scriptures, we're biblically we're brothers, but you know, in the sense of, you know, the way that they make it in a worldly sense, we're not. No, we're not cool. I'll put it like that. We're not cool, man. All right, but let's get it.
It says, here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Right. It says, you read all that?
It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right. So that's coming around. That's coming back around. All right.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
And they believe in karma. You believe in karma. What goes around comes around. So why is it different when it comes to the scriptures? Why shouldn't it be fair game? You know, and the reason is, you know, and that's a rhetorical question, by the way, because Esau Edom's not a fair man. All right, we don't get a fair shake in his kingdom. We don't get to make it to that top tier level without having to sell our souls, you know, as a nation, or without compromising our integrity. They got it by inheritance. So if you get something by inheritance, if you really truly care about a nation or other people, what you would do, you put them on. But that's not how it goes. You go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity.
Yeah, and because Esau Edom, now I've been mainly harping on Esau Edom, but all these non-Israelite nations, they have a role to play as well, right? There's more than one enemy of the nation of Israel. In the book of Psalms 83, you don't have to get it, but it says that these nations were confederate against us, and it names off all the heathen nations that either had a part to do in our slavery, part in our downfall. You know, that was buying us off the auction blocks, okay? That was dealing with us in trade, you know, the transatlantic slave trade. These heathen nations had a part to deal with that as well. So they, you know, read that again, Baba Kushah, because these other nations aren't excluded. All right, you go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
All they that devour thee shall be devoured. Can we get that word devoured? Just read it.
When you get to the word devour, Strong's H398, which is akal, which is to eat, devour, burn up, feed, to eat, to devour, consume, to slay, to devour, consume, destroy.
Yeah.
I.e. Slack.
No, that's good. No, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, I was. It's just i.e. pestilence, drought, but that's more of an inanimate objects. For people, is to slay, to be devoured, consumed. So, yeah.
Con. And which is backing up the statement, because backing up the statement I made that with them having us in slavery, them using us to their advantage. Okay. Like once again, the transatlantic slave trade, where we was a commodity. We weren't even looked at as a people, man. We were looked at as property. We were looked at as product. Okay. So you don't think that it's coming full circle for everybody, every heathen nation that devoured us, that consumed us, that ate off of us, that slayed us, right? That had a part to do with our downfall. The Most High set this up, man. So you go back to that Jeremiah.
Done. Jeremiah 30, verse 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity.
That's it. Every last one of these heathen nations are going into captivity. And what's captivity? It's slavery. Plain and simple, it's slavery. We just read it in Revelation 13 as well. Right? How fair is our, no, I ain't gonna say that. How fair is it for a nation of people? I'll say this, the peculiar people of the Lord to be under the hand of heathenistic nations or heathen nations, to be devoured, to be downtrodden, to lose their heritage, to be put to death for trying to serve him, for the Lord to be like, I'm gonna let them go free. That don't make sense in any word, any translation of the scriptures, any language you could think of, even in Braille, it doesn't make sense. Because the Lord is going to, that's why we spoke about the indignation. We mentioned the indignation of the Lord, the righteous anger because of these heathen nations touching the apple of the Lord's eye. They have to go into captivity. Let's say that you're an Israelite, I don't want them going to captivity. That's my brother. Okay, cool. You can feel that way, but the Lord thinks different. The Lord said they're going into captivity. I don't care what you say, they're going into captivity. That's prophetic, right? And we just the brother brought out a beautiful scripture yesterday with the 1 Thessalonians. Don't scoff at the prophecies. That's scoffing at the prophecies if you don't think that they're going to go into slavery. That's prophetic, amongst many other prophecies. But you get what you got up.
Nah, I'm gonna hold it. I think I'm jumping.
There's a little bit more on that.
Come, Bible shot.
It says, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil.
And to spoil means what? To rob a people, right? To rob a people, like during the time of the siege was a good example. What happened when they came up in there? They not only did they beat us down, but what? They infiltrated the temple, the holy temple. They took the noblemen. They took certain possessions of ours, well that belonged to the temple. They burnt the city down. That's a spoiling, man. They completely took over our people. A lot of our people that didn't even serve the Lord at a point in time because they were so indoctrinized by being snatched up through captivity, forceful captivity. So that's coming right back around to you, man. Go ahead up.
And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
Actually, I'll bring it out. This is Psalm chapter 149, verse 5. It says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
And the saints are the Israelites, by the way. All right, and what proves that is in the previous chapter where it says that it speaks of Israel being the saints. So-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right?
It says, let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people.
And now that two-edged sword, let's talk first and foremost, it starts with the scriptures, all right? Because the scriptures speak of your captivity. The scriptures speak of your downfall. The scriptures speak of your judgments that's to come, all right? So that's spiritually cutting. But there's going to be a physical cutting which is going to come from the Lord He's going to put that same spirit, according to the book of Ezekiel 35, was in 14, on the spirit of his servants, the prophets, to actually put your ass down, man. All right, so that's that two-edged sword. You go ahead, bro. Read that last part again.
Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people.
Right.
To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
Right. So your top elite bankers, you know, the ones who make all the rules, right? The ones that you never see, all right, who got billions and billions and trillions of dollars they're sitting on, and they're just pretty much they're pushing their staff, like the MOTB, for an example, their NWO, they're putting it upon the nobles that we actually do see, such as your Trumps, your Gil Bates, all right, your high elite prestige individuals that have some type of authority here in America, okay? All those top elite individuals, especially if Esau Edom, they're going into captivity, all right? They're going to be the first fruits of slavery. The whole nation of Esau Edom is going to be put into captivity, but those are going to be the first fruits, man. You're going to be the first niggas to go into captivity. First niggas in chains, man. Go ahead. And we can't wait, man. All right? Go ahead.
To execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints. Praise you, the Lord Yahweh.
Hey, once again, that correlates with that Revelation 13 as well. So this is the faith and the patience of the saints. All right? This is what we've been waiting on. Why? Because once Yahweh Shem Yahushai enlighten us on what's to come, you know, as far as who we are, you know, what our purpose is upon earth, you know, what type of, with Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, how we're supposed to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and be a peculiar people amongst the nations, right? That is something that we found out, like, damn, we're meant for a greater purpose. But here it is, we're not serving that greater purpose to a full extent because of our transgressions, and now look, we're sitting in captivity. Now we're sitting here, we're stretched out on the daily, you know, you probably can't pay your bills, or you probably can't, or you can't take care of your kids how you want to. You can't monitor them 24/7. And it's predators out here. You know, there's no safety in Babylon. All right, that's where the stress comes from for the Israelites. There's no safety, man. So
that's everybody. Everybody losing that's just the part of this society. That's why the scriptures speak about the righteous ruling. You know, people rejoice when the wicked rule, people mourn, because the society is not supposed to be like this. Like, we're not supposed to be surviving to live. We're supposed to be able to live, man. The scriptures speak about when you working and you getting in provisions and things of that, you're supposed to enjoy that. That's like of a opportunity of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. But in this society, they don't allow that to happen. So yeah, we going through things. So is people in the world going through things. Let the scriptures say it rains on the just and the unjust, man. But the difference is we're following the will of the Heavenly Father. We have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We have an opportunity at salvation. That's what the rest of the world is missing or don't get. They have the opportunity, but it's not mixed with faith, as it says in Hebrews, man. So they hear what we hear, or they hear what we heard, or they hear what we say, but if the spirit is not with them, then they're just not going to understand, man. You know?
We can jump into that Romans thing. All right, we went way off the subject.
All right, Con, this is This is Romans chapter 9, verse 4. It's like Romans chapter verse 4. It's Romans chapter 9, verse 4. It says, who are Israelites.
Go. Just start the time.
Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Yahushai, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Yahushai for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh.
Right, because Paul was an actual Israelite, man, according to the flesh, as it said. You know, and this is a major argument here in Babylon the Great now, is that well, who the Israelites are, okay? That they're not the thing is, and that's another thing I just thought about, how Esau Edom, he doesn't have to prove that he's not an Israelite. He doesn't have to prove that he's not a JOO. But we have to go through hoops and loops to prove that we're Israelites. Okay, they can go over to our land and claim it. Nobody questions it. It's just established. But when the truth comes forth and there's facts that coming forth and say, hey, we're the Israelites, because of going back to the law, statutes, and commandments, also going back to certain artifacts that have been put forth that's showing forth that the Israelites were dark-skinned people.
What else? It's a key word you missing. According to what? Also,
I said according to
prophecy, bro. That's the thing. If those is the people that's supposed to be in that land, why is war and violence still going on throughout the earth? All right.
It's like this ain't no hard saying. This ain't no like telling our nation that we're the children of Israel at this time. It's like telling you what pork is, you know, because prophecies has come to pass, information is out. You know, I was in a group chat with the brothers, and they was sharing how even the breakdown of Adam and Eve, you know, showing how they had sinned, you know what I'm saying, by listening to other laws and ideas. And the brother's like, well, you know, what site you found out? It's like, I just looked it up on Google. And I found it, you know, online, man.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So, you know, can we get that people, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. You know, so right now, even like, you know what I'm saying, we'll go over the subject here and there, you know, but if Jake don't know that they're Israel and that these people are like with what's going on in the Middle East right now, what we've been saying for years, you know, there's movies, there's documentaries, there's people that listen to us and you can hear it in their speech when they say things. There's Edomites coming out, all right? So that's you know, if you don't know you Israel right now and we got to come out, all we should be able to have to do is tell you to salute that we the Negro, Latino, Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? Now, if somebody don't know that comes up, then edification will come forth, because the scriptures say, you know, if anybody have a question, you know, you give them an answer, man. All right, be apt to teach as well. Okay, so you know, outside of that, man, they got some mysteries going on. There's well, not even mysteries. There's prophecy that's standing before us. That's very important. All right, right now you got situation Ukraine. You got what's going on in the Palestine versus those people, those fake Philosophians in the Middle East. All right, which are the tribe of Amalek. All right, then you got Venezuela. Okay, there's an earthquake in Argentina. Okay, and there's scriptures that's telling us about these things. On top of the MOTB, the advancements of the MOTB. All right.
This is Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Yeah, at this point, man, if they don't get that we Israelites, or that this argument exists, and I ain't talking about like, oh, we're saying we're Israelites, that pretty much you know our argument, man. Because even Esau know our argument. And they try to had an Edomite get on there talking about, yeah, they went in slavery with ships. That's not true. That doesn't, because when those people that were in Germany, they got shipped out. That's not, no, they said the wilderness. When they fled into the wilderness into West Africa, that was what it was. Not that they didn't, you don't go there. Well, you can go there by ship, but that's not what it's talking about, man. How did Jake end up from Israel to Rome? They walked. Okay, you can't walk to Babylon. All right, so there's, you know, incredulities that, you know, Edom try to bring forth, but that could be shut down just like this statement. I have to get no precepts, just go in history. You know, Israelites been dark skinned. Like, if Jake can't get that, man, we moving on, man. Okay? We got to get into these prophecies, man. All right? We got to get into, like I said, these wars and rumors of wars. Let's get that, Baba Shah. Because again, bro, we at the end of this thing. If you still trying to figure out who the fuck you is, it's over with for you, man. We should be able to tell you straight up, man. All right? At this point, hell, we so close to the end of this thing, we could just say the MOTB is the MO to the B, MO to the T to the B is the micro C hip, and it should not. Oh, what? But it's still a low key argument. You know what I'm saying? But we so close to the end of this thing. Let's get that in, Second Ezra chapter 9, man. Okay.
What was the other one you had called?
The wars and rumors of wars.
Yeah, Second Ezra 9. You want to?
Yeah, somebody said it.
Wars and rumors of war.
Okay, you want that first? This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. It's so like in verse 6, it says, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars.
Yeah. Venezuela and America is like a rumor of war. Like, while it's sudden, like as many as drug cartels been shipping drugs over here, now it's something that needs to be on the internet and publicized. Just like in his propaganda. Just like Jake being beat down and shot down by the cops. That's been happening, man. All right, that just started being on the news and being pushed like around 2006, 2007. But it's been happening since I was young, man. All right, I didn't see Jake. I didn't see it, man. Jake get beat down, man, running from the police. You know, that was like a routine thing, man. All right, but because they want, they're trying to break this system down so they can rebuild it with something else, just like they did with those fires in Hawaii, man. Okay, they got to break it down, but they can't just go over there with a flamethrower and just start swinging. All right, so they use their direct energy weapon.
It gotta be a bad guy. The bad guy in essence was the fire. The bad guy in this sense is Jake. You know, they ain't gonna just sit here and tell you, yeah, we trying to change, we trying to make a change, and we just about to tear everything down. And no, they gotta, because if they're gonna be the leaders of this new world, but they need you to believe in them. They gotta trust in them.
They gotta project themselves as the white knight.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yep.
Because the thing is with this capitalistic democracy, that they could just get up. They got the power to get up and just do stuff, but through capitalism, you need the masses to be separated. Okay, so they create things like I was reading, like how they'll create something that they got full autonomy on and control, but they make it as though you have a part to play in it.
Yeah.
All right, i.e. voting.
I see the voting system.
You know what I'm saying? And they make you feel like you are a part of the decision making that's going on in Babylon, but really you don't. Okay? Just like they created a system with NATO and the EU in these power seats and war crimes and all that. But guess what? How the hell are you gonna go to the police? How you gonna call the police on the police? You know? So when you at the NATO summit and you saying, man, them JOOs did a war crime on Palestine, all right, Babylon gonna say who's on the power seat? The whore that sit on the dragon. All right, that's the one that prophesied. Let's get that. All right, which is indicative of NATO and the EU. Okay, and if anybody bring up Israel, they'll just veto it. They'll let you push it in, but they'll just veto it. Okay, here it is. They're dropping bombs on these people. Here it is. They're going to Venezuela. You know, and the Venezuela don't have a standing army. They're getting fighter jets. They'll say a Venezuelan fighter jet. That's a Russian fighter jet. Okay? Russia is helping them. But you're not supposed to go to war with a country without a standing army. I like to believe. Can someone look that up? You know what I'm saying? I like to believe that's a war crime. But who's gonna bring the judge to court? The judge of this world, all right, of this present world. Now, the judge of the entire world, the entire universe, and everything that exists within it, you know, is the Most High and the Son. But we're talking about, you know, Esau's been, he's the prince of this world, man, right now. All right.
Yeah, it says the international law primarily governed by the UN Charter.
Yeah, primarily governed by the UN Charter. So when you take somebody to court, it has to go through the UN. But again, the horse sits on that dragon. All right, let's get that in Revelations real quick as well. But you go ahead.
It says prohibits the use of force against another state except in cases of self-defense or with UN Security Council authorization. A country without a standing army like Iceland or Costa Rica still enjoys sovereign protections under international law, meaning an attack could be deemed illegal aggression unless justified.
Yeah. So you can't just go and run up on Kenya. You know what I'm saying? Technically, you can't go to war with Kenya because they don't got no active army, man. They might have niggas in the army. I'm talking about fighter jets, tanks, okay, nuclear missiles. That's really the determining factor, okay? And that's what Esau uses to hold the major countries under their thumb, which is the nuclear missiles. But you're going down, let's go get in Isaiah as well, okay?
What's that?
14. Oh, shit, Jake should know that, man. Art thou become weak as weak, okay? I know I was vague with it though, so I ain't on Jake like that. But let's get that Revelations real quick.
It says Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Yeah, the wine of her fornication is all those business deals, those factories, those the McDonald's, the pharmaceuticals, the trades, all right? And when you get into that Venezuela situation, with Maduro, it's pretty much they got oil there, they got bananas, I forget the other resource, things like copper or something. You know what I'm saying? Brothers can look up the mineral resources of Argentina, man, because it's not a war on drugs. All right, that's bullshit. Because what kind of drugs were they carrying over there? Okay, fucking fentanyl. They say it was enough of fentanyl to kill millions of people. But where when you go to the source, we ain't talking about niggas strung out on, because it used to be opium. Because the thing is, what happened was they used to cut opium with fentanyl and stretch it. That's what the local drug dealers used to do. But niggas just start getting on fentanyl. All right, and fentanyl is potent. Okay, but when I first found out, about fentanyl, I ain't gonna lie, I was listening to what the fucking nigga Kevin Gates. He say something lace up something with the fentanyl, something like, you know what I'm saying, and then Jake go Googling shit, and then there was a situation in New Orleans where they had these nigglets down there causing havoc, shooting up, killing everybody, and that's when I found out. And these are court cases, you know what I'm saying, that are documented. All right, they pretty much forget this Crown Heights or Crown. Pretty much they read the actual court statement as a narration. All right, they read the whole case as a narration, and then within that narration, them niggas was pretty much was stating how they stretch they opium or they heroin. All right, and what they did, because was like, I think heroin's more brown and fentanyl's more white, so they used brown dye and all that, and they was stretching it. Okay, and they said, well, where you get the fentanyl from? Well, shit, I just went to the pharmacy. All right, and they bought it there. All right, and then once it got popular, instead of just sitting into the pharmacy, they just started sending it to the drug dealers. Oh, y'all can get it off now. Okay, So I say all that to say fentanyl was sold by the government. Just like opium is sold by the government. Where are they getting all this opium? We don't have no opium fields here. We don't have no fentanyl fields here. All right? What, can somebody look up how fentanyl is made or where it's made from? Okay? You know, we don't have no opium or fentanyl production factories here. Okay?
It says the illegal fentanyl that has fueled the opioid crisis in the United States is primarily manufactured in clandestine labs in Mexico, using precursor chemical source from China.
Yep. So what is a pre-chemical source? What is fentanyl made of, man? That's a real good question, because they said it fuels the opioid crisis. It fuels it. It is not the opioid crisis. It fuels it. Okay? They want people doped up, messed up. Okay?
You want to know what actually makes fentanyl?
Yeah. Okay. Because that's the thing, because you gotta watch out with the wiles of the devil, man. All right? He'll sit there and lie to you. Even with these fucking these edibles and shit, man. When they legalize this weed, man. Okay? You know, ain't no way that they're like, they did an article like when Jake was out there smoking, he probably doing like 0.2%. That shit at like 50%, like 30 grams in one. It's like that's the same thing as fucking canola oil and processed foods, man. That's processed weed now. So now Jake out here dummied up, weeded up. You know, they putting little shit on it, you know, and that shit destroying your ass, man. All right? But Esau can make money off of it, man. So now he got it to where he can use it as a concentrate, you know.
It says it's a lot, bro. It says the synthesis of fentanyl is accomplished beginning with one benzopyridine, which is condensed with aniline to form the corresponding Schiff base. The double bond in this product is reduced by lithium aluminum hydride, and the resulting 1-benzo-4-aniline pyridine. So there's like it's a bunch of covalent bonding for the most part.
So niggas is making that, huh? You know, niggas is getting covalent copidine and benzoid and lithium and going in their backyard and doing it like crack cocaine. Yeah. But niggas ain't shit at the same time. Yeah. Niggas is dumb at the same time. This is the game that Esau plays. Niggas are so stupid that they can't cross the street and get an education, but they can go and create fentanyl. Get the fuck out of here. That's the propaganda of Esau. So you got to connect dots. Who showed them how to do that? Because no, more than likely, you know, because that's historically what they do via the CIA is they oppress them, take their mineral resources, and then force them to not force them. It leads them. I ain't gonna say leads them. They show them how to create drugs or make drugs, and then they have them make their money off the black market via through drugs. Okay.
It says right here, it says fentanyl is an opioid drug like morphine or heroin. It is made entirely in laboratories with no natural ingredients.
Okay.
Although it is approved as a prescription pain medicine, most of fentanyl contributing to the current overdose crisis is made illegally.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's why the pharmacy, man. That's all of that witch, man. That's that doctoring and shit up, you know. A toe of a toad, a nail of a goat type. You know what I'm saying? It's witchcraft at the end of the day. But like you said, niggas is doing this in their backyard. Got a whole lab underground on some motherfucking Breaking Bad type shit.
And who taught them how to do that?
And
when you go to the core of it, they started making it. Esau started making these scientists. So all of a sudden, a nigga broke in the lab, watching Dr. Zuckerberg, Dr. Berslansky make the fentanyl, and he's taking notes. this is a whole science experiment, man. I mean, a whole science situation. Ain't no nigga can go on YouTube and look it up. No, man. Same thing with the same fucking trick they did with crack cocaine, man. It's all propaganda, man.
Yep.
You know? So for them to try to run down there in Venezuela, act like it's a fucking big deal, it's bullshit, man.
You still want the resources from there?
Yeah, they're getting funded. They're getting funded, man. But the thing, Maduro is rejected. He got the oil. He don't want to trade with them in oil. He don't want to trade with their dollar. Okay? Their allies is China, Russia. Okay? So once you start connecting dots, you're gonna see why they're trying to go down there. All right? But you get that precept, brother, and then we'll get the resources of Venezuela.
God, this is Job chapter 13 and verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value.
There you go. And especially in the medical field. Like I said, man, military, medical, foreign affairs, education is the highest budget categories in America, man. Foreign affairs, sending billions of dollars to Israel, sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. Okay, $1 billion here, $1 billion there. And then they'll hide money too. They do systems to hide money. You know, where, you know, oh, we're gonna, you know, and Elon and Trump brought that to light via through Elon brought it to light. When he did the budget cuts, he was saying like, and they try to use the propaganda of the cult of personality of Trump of saying, yeah, we're getting rid of this alphabet stuff, we're gonna straighten it out. So they attacked that and say, look, we're about to cut the budgets on that. They sending condoms to fucking Brazil and shit, $1 million worth of condoms. You know what I'm saying? You know, doing drag shows, $1 million drag shows, $100,000 this, $100,000, and it's like for foolishness. So they cleaned it up. How much more, you know, with you know, the education? How much more with other products? Okay, like Seattle. Oh, we're gonna give them glass pipes in. That shit probably costs like, you could say $10,000 a year, but then they set a budget to $200,000, and you're gonna pocket the rest of that. So you can get on a boat, on a yacht, with your foreign cocaine, your foreign drugs, and then you know, get your women that you're traveling from state to state with, okay, crossing borders with women. You know what I'm saying? Like they make, and it's crazy. I mentioned that because you're breaking the law. But you'll do Jack Johnson dirty, you'll do Jake dirty if they take a woman from state to state. But you do that on a regular, man. All right? This man is not of our turn at the end of the day. Whether you believe you're Israelite or not, nigga, you need to wake up to that Esau is the devil, man. All right? It don't take rocket science. You don't got to be a fentanyl scientist to know that Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Okay?
I got those resources. So Venezuela's primary mineral resources are vast deposits of petroleum and natural gas.
Yep. So there you go. That's the fucking and that's it right there. The oil. Okay. You go ahead.
But it also holds significant reserves of bauxite, gold, iron, ore, and coal.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, they got some other resources. It's probably typed up because they got, like I said, bananas. There's because person might say bananas. Bananas, nigga, niggas buy bananas every day. Bananas, a store without bananas, you'll lose a lot of money. A store without apples and produce, okay? You're not gonna. That's why grocery stores make more money than gas stations, okay? Because they have produce in there. All right.
So like I looked something up. It says oil, natural gas, minerals. So those are all the ones you covered. Coal as well. It says hydropower and water resources. Agricultural and forestry resources such as coffee, cocoa, sugarcane, rice, corn.
You need sugar because sugar's in every fucking thing. You need sugar. Sugar is in every fucking thing. Sugar is just as important as cocaine or a fucking rifle. All right.
It says fisheries, which supports resources like shrimp, tuna, and sardines.
Yeah. Like niggas like they shrimp scampies and shrimp alfredos. All right. Niggas be knocking shrimp. Louisiana alone, Argentina could barely hold. Type shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Going on to the whole U.S. of A. Shrimp is a delicacy. All right. Sugar used to be a delicacy. Okay.
And then it says like other minerals like diamonds, phosphate, copper, nickel, coltan, and outside of what the brothers looked up, that's actually coming up for me.
That's a lot of fucking minerals and agricultural resources. All right. And when you can go into that land, because right now Maduro ain't fucking around, man. He ain't trying to have it with America. It says that let's go into Maduro and U.S. relations. But also let's look up Argentina and I think it's Exxon. All right, but they did a deal, and they did like a short-term deal, and Argentina fucked them over because Argentina ultimately, as a government, don't fuck with Babylon. You know what I'm saying? On paper, we don't know if they do, if it's a puppet, Maduro's a puppet, or he just really don't fuck with them, and they're just America's like, nah, man, we about to come over there. But at the end of the day, they don't do it through peace; they do it through war because they want everybody to believe that the path to peace is war because that's their way of oppressing people, and they tell people that this is how we're establishing peace. Okay, so it's all propaganda through the wiles of the devil, man. All right.
So it says relations between Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and the United States have been deeply strained for over a decade, characterized by mutual accusations of authoritarianism, drug trafficking, election fraud, and interference in internal affairs. Under the second Trump
So what an election fraud got to do with America, man? Why is that your fucking business? Sure, it's wrong, but that ain't your fucking business. You know? Why? Because whoever's up in presidency, okay, whoever's up in presidency, once you get in their pockets, you know what I'm saying? You start lining their pockets up, you could get them to give you bananas for pennies on a dollar. Allow them access to bring their scientists in, to bring their democracy in, to pretty much control your situation. Because it's not ironic, the most enriched mineral resource lands, Hawaii, Africa, South America, you know, all these places are poor. Fucking third world countries, but you got the most gold, you got the most land, you got the most cattle, you got the most everything, but you're the poorest country in the world. That don't make no damn sense, man. Okay?
It says under the second Trump administration, tensions have escalated dramatically, with the U.S. labeling Maduro's regime a narco-terror cartel and deploying military assets to the Caribbean. Maduro, in turn, has accused the U.S. of pursuing regime change through gunboat diplomacy.
You see? Because they're trying to get them to change their so they could, I want your shit, bro. I don't want it for that price. But Esau could walk around and tell people how much they could trade in a dollar and shit like that. And tell them what they could do. Put sanctions on this country, that country, tariffs. But you better not put a tariff on us, man. And if you do, then we're gonna rat on you about this drug sale you're doing. Okay?
It says the U.S. does not recognize Maduro as legitimate, viewing the opposition's Edmundo Gonzalez as the rightful winner of the disputed 2024 presidential election.
Yeah, because it says that nigga pretty much, they say he won it, and that nigga say I won, nigga. Huh? You know what I'm saying? But why aren't the people rioting? Why aren't the people doing? They're going to eventually riot because now America's getting involved in the CIA, and somebody's going to throw a fucking Molotov cocktail eventually, and then it's going to go into complete chaos. We see this movie over and over and over again, man. All right.
It's a lot to it.
It's a whole fucking lot.
It's a lot.
It's a
bro.
whole fucking lot, man.
I'm just trying to see what's a good point to like punch in. I don't know. Do you want more to it?
Yeah, if you can find whatever you can find in the spirit, you know what I'm saying. But the whole point is that U.S. Argentina shit it's been put on the news for a reason. They've been beefing even before Maduro. There was a guy before that wasn't dealing with America like that. I forget his name. All right. And when Maduro was the vice president to that guy. All right? Ain't no difference between Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein. This nigga was a CIA agent, man. Okay? Motherfuckers with the 9/11 got trained by America to fly planes. You know, America like, oopsies, yeah. You know?
I got a little bit of historical context pre-Maduro if you want that.
Yeah.
It says
and then Salaki, I think there's something going on with the Vietnamese now, or I forget who, but they starting in Georgia. They got on the ass in Georgia, man. Over 500 fucking workers at a factory that the immigration got a hold of. You know what I'm saying? 500 niggas. 500 is a lot for a job. Okay? 500 is a lot for a job. And you mean to tell me that you didn't know nothing about this when you was hiring these niggas? You know? They don't speak no English. All these niggas. Just smile and nod their head. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You know? 500 niggas, bro. After a while, after the 30th nigga, you gotta be like, yo, you gotta check these niggas' papers. But they don't care. Because it's capitalism. You know what I'm saying? It's cheap labor. You could pay them 17. Because it's about 5 of them niggas in one house. Okay? Like, this place is a clusterfuck of greed, man. And it's going to be destroyed, man. And they keep trying to use everything as an scapegoat and violence as a solution, man.
I got a precept. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Yeah, always in somebody else's business. You talking about somebody else's election. Trump himself said that y'all arguing about Trump shit is rigged. Okay? But all these motherfuckers working together because Russia was allocated, associated with this election, saying they manipulated that. Why? Because y'all want to make deals. This is a business, man. These are business transactions being made, and it's always been like that, man. When you go into the Maccabean dynasty, when Rome wasn't Rome as of yet, but they still was a powerhouse. There wasn't the power at the time. It was Greece that was the power through Alexander. When forget the guy, but they drew a circle around him so don't cross this line. Hey, Shalom. They pretty much said, he told him don't cross this. He drew a circle around him, and that's where you get the term drawing a line in the sand, because he walked around and said, don't exit this circle till you give me a yes or no, right? Because he didn't want him to go down into Egypt because of what? The grain. It was a business. You messing up business. I ain't like I like Egyptians. It's like y'all messing up my grain product. All right? But America does it the vice versa. They go and oppress people and then take the grain and make you work for pennies on a dollar. All right? We'll talk about all this justification and right and wrong, and you got Chinese people making Jordans for 25 cents. Make kids like 5 years old and 6 years old making shoes and shit, man. And you come over here and sell them for $300, $250, and then you get greedy, and so Now you can't just go to the store and buy it. You got to go into kicks.com and go into a raffle, and you might get it. And then if you don't get it, then you got to go to this site where they hike the prices up, and the shoes are $400, $500, man. And try to act like, oh, we don't have enough. Why? Because you didn't put tariffs on countries. You know what I'm saying? Ain't even the tariffs. You did that on purpose so you can hike prices up because you want to make people feel like the dollar is crashing, which technically it isn't. They're just trying to force that crash, and they're using propaganda. Because all this shit hiking up. What happened? What was the boats crashing and shit? Knocking the bridges out. You had the trains derailing. Then you had the truckers, the 856 or whatever that shit is. Okay. Then so now you're saying, oh, we don't have enough of it. And then you had the 2020, and that solidified it. Once you hike them prices up, 2020 just made a floor. Boom. And it wasn't gonna drop any lower anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because $10 getting 10 when I was in high school, $10 an hour, bro, you balling, man. Minimum wage is about $7, $5.50. You getting paid $7, nigga. That's like you working at a factory. You know, $7, $8, $10. You made it big. You know what I'm saying? And now $20 ain't enough, man. Okay, and it's constantly prices going up and up. All right. Then on top of that, they still gonna force you. They condition people to, I gotta eat, I gotta drive, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You're in a society that's fixated to you helping the beast system, be it through their capitalistic greed. Okay.
You want that history or?
Yeah.
It says U.S.-Venezuela relations were cooperative during the early 2000s under Hugo Chavez, with Venezuela as a key U.S. oil supplier. Tensions rose after Chavez's 1999 election, as he had aligned with anti-U.S. figures like Fidel Castro and criticized U.S. foreign policy.
So he pretty much switched sides. Okay. And what happened with was it Hezekiah? You know, when he switched sides, when the kings of Israel switched sides and chose Egypt, gave gifts to them instead of gifts, which is tribute. So I get and try to ally with Egypt. What did Nebuchadnezzar do? Came and ran them down, man. Same thing now. It's resources, man. It's riches. This ain't about a right and wrong. They just tell the people that because through capitalism, you gotta have people divided. You gotta have. That's why you got controlled opposition. You got your Candace Owens and what's your boy name? InfoWars. You do the InfoWars. Alex Jones. You know, you got these guys. You know, which they may have their personality. They may really be into that, but they'll tell you, yeah, you could talk about this, but don't ever mention that. You know, like they allowing these Amalekites to put up drones to watch people to ensure that they're not using anti-Semitic dialogue. All right, drones, like that's if you, it's like you're using drones, but Kamala Harris told y'all stupid ass she don't use Bluetooth earbuds because they can listen into your conversations. You know what I'm saying? She used wired ones, right? So if they have that technology to listen to your phone, oh no.
You messed me up with that one.
Salami. You know? But yeah, man, they got all this technology, but you putting up drones. No, they're cornering. You don't desperately need the drones. Drones is just another wall to your building, man. Okay? You got phones, track you. This is like this is the closest thing to MOTB that we got right now is these cell phones, man. All right? Just like we're talking right now, it's picking up all of our conversation. Okay? It's picking up, it got echolocation, showing what people going and how traffic is moving. You know?
Satellites everywhere, cameras everywhere already. You just want to further police the system. That's it.
Yeah, they're just cornering. They back people into a corner, then they make it a mandate. Okay? Just like the financially, they're oppressing people from every side. Then they're gonna come with a solution and make it a mandate, which is gonna be this MOTB, because you can't just say, you know what, Jake out here making 20, or what we could say, let's go annually, you make about 50,000 a year. The cost of living is 25, 20. And then you say, hey man, I want to change this money system. And they're gonna be like, why? The mass is gonna be like, why? And it's gonna be hard to get a lot of people to do it. Okay? That's like telling people faucet water is good again. And like, you gotta start tricking people. You gotta have fucking construction workers in every city working on a pipe on one strip, constantly putting it on CNN, because with capitalism, it needs mass. You need to control the mass flow, and you need to be able to disperse them at will, man. Okay, that's why they use let's get it Revelations, the lamb with two horns, man. Okay, that spake peace. All right, but they got more to that.
Come.
Yeah, hold what you got. So I want you all over the place.
Come.
So, Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Yeah, the Republicans and the Democrats, okay, got Jake voting, got Jake arguing who better, and the fact that you have a platform to argue, social media, it makes it feel like you're involved in this country. Not over my dead body, don't tread on me, and all that. You ain't gonna do shit when the government decides to do something, ultimately, but they allow you to speak that piece so you can feel like this is your country too. And it's not, man. This is the elite country, man. Once they put a central bank up in this country, it was a wrap. Give me control of the money, I don't care now who makes the laws. Okay? Yeah.
It says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him.
Yeah, which goes back to Rome, all right? Because that was the beast that had the wound that was healed. This goes back to Great Britain, but that beast that it sprang from was Rome. And like we always say, was it because I always forget, like plebeians, they had the Senate, the plebeians, they had another one. Patricians. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what the Roman and Republican democracy, right wing and left wing, far right and left. Because what it is like they create positives and negatives or to give you a choice. You know what I'm saying? Because it's crazy that you got a republic and a democracy, but then there's another one nobody really talks about. I don't even know the fucking name of it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
the one that Bernie Sanders was with. You know,
Like independent or something.
I forget. We can look it up, but
social con.
but it's another division, but it ain't gain traction. You know what I'm saying? It's that system is super anti-American. All right, they need to do it by force. Everybody get in line. Ain't no like, oh, because we are born and raised in Babylon, so we think that this shit is normal. But paying for Medicare is not normal. The price of medical fees is not normal. To go like Canada don't have medical. A lot of countries do not. You don't have to pay for medical medical treatment, man. All right, the government provides for that. All right, these niggas got billions of dollars, but they can't, use the taxpayer money to pay doctors salary. But you got money for condoms to send to Canada. You got money for drag races in Brazil. All right, that's a salary of hundreds of doctors, man, annually. Okay,
I looked up the third party thing, and it was like honestly, there is no one third party. It's a bunch of alternatives.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just like you said, independent party. Somebody come up with an independent concept. It's just like, I'm giving you a chance. You ain't gonna survive here.
that's
All
like
right.
Kanye West.
We all got Uzis, grenades, and you got a stick. But you could come in and fight with us if you want. Everybody could come here and fight. But y'all got Uzis and sticks. Y'all got Uzis and grenades. Like, where do you get that from? Or you get that from our surplus? Your surplus? Yeah. Like, nah, bro. And then you selling it to me for $5 billion and shit, and you just making them for free. Like, I don't stand a chance, man. Okay, it's just the image of freedom, the image of an opportunity that America presents, man. All right, but it's really oppression. All right, really bullshit.
So back in the history, it zooms forward to 2013 to 2019. It says Maduro succeeded Chavez amid economic collapse and protests.
So how did Maduro come into government? What happened to Chavez? You know what I'm saying? Because Maduro was vice president. Okay? Maduro was vice president. Remember, Chavez was cool with Babylon, and he was doing deals. Okay? And he was doing deals, I believe it was Exxon, the oil company. Which that's another layer of bullshit through the Industrial Revolution. Okay?
They still got some pulled up for that.
Because they had like a monopoly of oil, and then they dispersed it into different companies. He just did a rebrand. Instead of having one big ass company, I ain't gonna have monopoly. I'm gonna let this nigga, let my cousin run this one, my cousin run that. I'm gonna just break it all down so I can give everybody a chance. But everybody's my people. Okay?
It says that Hugo Chavez died of cancer, and then Maduro, his chosen successor, assumed presidency and then won a controversial election.
Yeah. See? So, Esau got stroke darts. You know what I'm saying? He got,
Right.
Yeah. So who says he ain't got that dude up out of there, man? All right. That's why I'm still, I don't know if it's all over the place. I don't know if Maduro's with or against Babylon, because they would use dictators and tyrants to run the country as thugs, and then let them do their little racket, which is normally drugs. You know what I'm saying? While pretty much they just sell their souls for the resources that they have. All right. Exxon.
Yeah, y'all still got that pulled up if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It says the relationship between Argentina and ExxonMobil has a long history. It says
that's one thing you want to follow, that oil, man. Okay.
It says centering on the country's oil and gas sector, particularly the development of the Vaca Muerta shale formation. However, the relationship has recently shifted, with Exxon selling most of its assets and largely exiting the country due to a combination of economic, political, and strategic business factors.
Yeah, pretty much they stopped fucking with their ass, man. They started raising prices. All right? Just like, who was doing that, man? The Middle East. I don't know if it was Pakistan or one of them, Saudi Arabia. But they started dropping their prices to make America's oil struggle, man. All right? Because they had so much on it, like I could sell it for pennies on a dollar and still make a profit. You know what I'm saying? But I drop the prices down to mess up your prices that you're trying to hike up. Just like the story of Mansa Musa, how he was walking around giving out gold. He gave out so much gold that he was messing up the rest of the countries, because everybody started, they didn't have to like struggle. So I couldn't make you do stuff, you know what I'm saying, to work for me anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it started messing up people's economy. And then he pretty much said that he bought all the gold back. He didn't have to. He just bought it back to fix the economy again. So that shows when you flood the market with something, it can drive the prices down and make it hard for you. Just like diamonds. Diamonds is plenteous. But they say it's rare because let's get that. You know how they hoard all the diamonds. There's hella diamonds, man. Diamonds is plenteous. But if you release it all into the market, diamonds gonna go for like one of them little things you paying $2,000. You'll pay like $50, man. Get diamonds everywhere. Imagine you walk up and you see a diamond. You ain't gonna go to the store and pay $2,000 for no damn diamond. Get that shit in the yard, like nigga said on How High. My bitch make rugs like that. Yeah, I know that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll fuck up your economy. If you making a killing, I made a whole business, K Jewelers, and I'm making billions and billions of dollars off of these diamonds, and then you come out from nowhere and just fly a plane over to dump diamonds everywhere. Their company's gonna plummet, man. Okay? So Esau wants to control the resource so he could, open the floodgates and close them, man. Like Obama for Mad Max. That shit was the funniest shit ever. I was like, that nigga's a dickhead. Like, people were fucking starving, waterless, and he comes up and mind you, nobody got water. This nigga opened the floodgates, and niggas just open their bowls and just try to catch them. You wasting water, but you just being a fucking tyrant with it to say, "Oh, look, should I let y'all have water? All right, I'm gonna show you how much power I got to open this gate, and y'all come out here and run like dogs to lick it up, and you wasting fucking water, you know." They really just have it, and that's what Babylon does. They have things in abundance, okay? Just like the medical field with cures, they got cures, okay? That's why Dr. Sebi got off, because the cures is the natural herbs of this earth, as the Bible tells you, man. All right?
So first it says that diamonds are not geologically rare. They form deep in the Earth's mantle and are found in many regions, including Africa, Russia, Australia, and Venezuela. And then it says the idea of diamond scarcity is largely a marketing construct pioneered by De Beers in the 20th century. Let me see. It says from the late 1800s to the early 2000s, De Beers controlled 80 to 90% of the global diamond market. They stockpiled rough diamonds in vaults to regulate supply, ensuring prices stayed high even during oversupply.
You see? So they control all the diamonds and then say, look, I'm going to let go 20% to the market. And it's like, it's rare. Okay? Rarity creates, scarcity increases the value of something. Okay? So this is the wiles of the devil, man. All right? And they created money. So now you got to go, that's how you get everything. Instead of you making it, like I said, the idea of a grocery store is bullshit, man. You know? You can sit there, we was eating peppers the other day, you can sit there and grow that shit in your backyard. But they'll create a law that you can't have no big-ass garden over a certain amount, pretty much a garden large enough to take care of yourself for the year. Then you got land. They barely, I don't even know if they let you buy land, I'm not sure. But I think certain factions like Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? They had a clause where when you bought the house, you owned the land as well. But there, I believe, don't quote me on this, but it's like it turned to a point to where if you buy land out here, you just bought that house. You didn't buy the land. Or you could rent the land. And even if you got the land, you got to pay taxes. If you don't pay the taxes, then they can take the land back. Okay? Which is bullshit. That's like me going to the store, buying a bike, and then you taxing me to ride my bike now. And if I don't pay it, you take my bike back. Then I got to buy another bike and then pay taxes on that. So ultimately, I don't own anything. And that's what they say. You'll own nothing and you'll love it. All right? Can somebody find that quote? And we get some precepts as well. You know? Let's get that wiles of the devil. So I mentioned that a couple times.
This is the book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
So what are we to do? We put on the whole armor, all right? And when you go into that armor, it's going to go into it, right? And when you go into that armor, these are cognitive and resources that the Lord provided us to help us move around from that bullshit, because Esau is very tricky. Satan transformed himself into an angel of light. And it's pretty much you got to lean onto the Lord in order not to fall into his snares and traps. All right? Because he's full of snares and traps. He don't lay down until he has caused some type of mischief. All right, let's get that. All right.
It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Yeah, the rich elite, man. All right. They not only they got the resources, but they be calling on demons. All right, these people are warlocks, physicians. All right. They're the left-handed side of everything that the Lord is, man. Okay? They're the sons of Satan, man. The sons of the wicked. Sons of Most High, Israelites, sons of man, the heathen, sons of the wicked, Esau. Okay? And you can tell he's a son of the wicked. Okay? This nigga I look at a go to an island like can we go to like the Hawaii? I'm trying to find a way to word it, but produce that's non-native to Hawaii that's in abundance now, like chickens. Chickens went that came from Edom, bringing chickens over there. I think like pineapples and shit and bananas, like that wasn't native. It's just that place had the climate to grow it. Okay. And this dude got the fatness of the earth, man. Just fucking everything up, man. And using it for evil. Okay?
Yeah, it says on the AI overview, produce that is non-native to Hawaii has become invasive, significantly impacting the state's native environment and agriculture. Examples of such invasive produce include the strawberry, guava, and the Himalayan ginger flower, which spread rapidly and outcompete native plants.
Yeah, so you know that's like that land was supposed to, that wasn't meant for that land. You know what I'm saying? Hogs and shit. Like Esau came over there with his bullshit and it infested that land, man, through his fucking greed. Okay? Because of that climate, you can grow strawberries all year round. Some places need a lot of water. Some places need some things need a lot of water. Some things need a lot of sun. All right. And when he came over here to the Americas, he learned. He tried to come over here with his shit, think he could plant this or plant that, and Gad had to show him, no, you grow corn. And the only thing they had that to grow was tobacco. And he was so fucking greedy that they took 100% of their land and grew tobacco and relied on Gad for food. Bunch of welfare babies, but at the same time, you making hella tobacco, shipping it to Great Britain, making your money. How greedy is that? That you're negligent of your own fucking health. We get back to the precept of the shop.
So back in Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand.
Let's get that word wows. You know what I'm saying?
You get that word wows, goes into Strong's G3180, which says cunning arts, deceit, craft, or trickery. Also goes into method, lying to wait, devices.
Yeah. Like the method is democracy, you know, concepts. You know what I'm saying? They'll come on to you, they'll get on TV and tell you why that they'll make it seem like nigga Hawaii do need them strawberries. You be like, damn, bro, I ain't know Hawaii need them strawberries like that. No, they fucking didn't, man. Like they tell you cow farts in the ozone, but they out here constantly making Hemis. okay, semi trucks. You know, and now all of a sudden, oh my God, pollution. Let's get these electric cars. But then when you start looking up that, then now you fucking up the water with the lithium batteries. It's like, God damn, bro. That's why he gotta go. Our people don't understand. Esau gotta go, bro. He has to. Let's get that for the elect's sake, the day shall be short. Okay?
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved.
Yeah, because he out here trying to put concrete on everything, metal and everything. All right? Plastic and everything. They didn't move you from the metal, the lead pipes, to the plastic bottles. Then when you want to get a fucking a glass bottle, the price is double the price. You know, a Coca-Cola compared to a Canada Dry. You know, that's my shit. But hey, they're gonna smack you over the head for them motherfuckers, man. Why? Because of bottles. What's glass made of? Sand? The fuck? Sand is that expensive? It's biodegradable. It breaks down. Okay? Plastic don't break down like that easy, man. You know? They got forever chemicals, aluminum pans and shit. You know? Like clay pots. You can make that. You know what I'm saying? I remember I used to do that shit in arts and crafts. They used to have the building's still there. It's right on 24th, across the street from the O'Reilly's. That big old it looked like this building here, but it's over there. It used to be a clay producer. You know what I'm saying? When I was a little jit, like 4th, 5th grade, I used to walk over there, and I used to be all over the place when I was a kid, man. And it's crazy because you know they'll tell you kids get snatched up nowadays. Like niggas get snatched up then and now. It's just propaganda, you know. But my point, getting back to my point, I used to walk in there. That's like me walking into a factory, bro. It was like it used to be chill, bro. When you was younger, you could just, you know, they walk in that motherfucker. You know, they're like, damn, what you doing here, man? Hey, look at this nigga. You know, they're talking to me and shit. Hey, you want one of this? Give me a clump of clay. I used to watch South Park and shit. I'd go home and fucking make the little characters, and I used to take it back to them, and they'd heat it up. You know what I'm saying? And dry it out. And then they'll dry it out, and then I'll paint it and shit. And I say all that to say you can take that same clay and make a bowl, okay? And make a bowl, and that's, you know, and you line it up and cure it, and you can make that bowl, and that could cook your soups, okay? But nah, they gotta put linoleum on shit, Teflon. Let's get the origins of what Teflon was made for. Shit was made for fucking tanks and shit. And somebody had the bright idea to put it in your pants. Okay? Like this the thing, Jake gotta, you know, study to show thyself approved. You gotta get into these things, man. All right? It's one thing to read the scriptures, but you gotta go and investigate what it's saying. Even within the scriptures, you read the scriptures, and then you go into the history of what was going on. That's why people are struggling with the Gentile concept, because they never went into the history of Rome. All right? They never went into the history of Babylon. Especially these wacky-tacky Christians, man. So when we tell them that Gentiles are Israelite foreigners, they no. The dictionary says it's, you know, it's non-Israelites. Usually of non-Israelites, so that's what it says. Esau do that all the fucking time. All right? Just like he'll get on the news and write in books how linoleum is better than glass pots. And then your ass fucking 20, 30 years, you reading in a fucking history book that linoleum's better than glass pots. It don't make it true. It was propaganda to sell the damn linoleum. You know? They say a lot of shit is good on TV and through propaganda, especially through the medical field. And we know, nah, I'm not taking that drug. I'm just gonna go over here and I'll lay down and I'll eat healthy. But historically, they'll document that this, just like the medical misinformation, you can't. I was reading this book on detoxing. They talking about how to get metals out you, and before he goes into all this, he has to say that the doctors are right, and he is alleged what he's saying. But he has to say that in order to get his book on the market. And imagine you reading that 50 years from now, you're gonna be like, this nigga, it's a book of fiction. But no, it's like he had to follow the legal protocols in order to get his book published. Just like when we start talking about how to be healthy on the internet via through YouTube, we have to put up, this is not for medical use, and this and this. And when we say that, historically, if you look up our information, we're gonna sound like we're fucking saying we're lying right out the gate. And they don't have to say that. So when they say it, they can say, yeah, this is the cure for that. Ain't nobody gonna chop them up or cut them off or sue them. You know, because of their power. It has nothing to do with their research. Because of the bulk of shit they research, they don't research it 10, 20 years and all that. How we know how fast they made that fucking Jabberwocky? It normally takes about 6 or 7 years to come up with something. You know?
It's Ecclesiasticus 13 and 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he said, they extol it to the clouds.
Yeah, they just take it as God's honest truth, man. All right, because they could put a stamp that has a circle with an R. They could put their signet on it. Okay, but it can shut you down on YouTube and shit for telling the truth.
But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumbled, they will help to overthrow him.
Yeah. So when you come up, Dr. Sebi, you know, yeah. Man, who are you? They're gonna get him out of here. Hit him with that stroke dart. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. Because you gotta say that. Now I say allegedly. Yeah. Am I telling the truth or am I not? But I gotta say it so they don't cut the video.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they got you know, they calling it the infodemic, where you got misinformation. It's 3 of them. I always forget the third one. It's misinformation, disinformation, and it's a third one. But pretty much at the end of the day, it's just people having their opinions, whether it's truth behind it or they got proof behind it, or evidence or whatever. But they're trying to suppress all of that. You know, as the brother's saying, and at the end of the day, it's to control the narrative.
Yeah. And they select it, because I want to say this. They got a little, they're very cunning at how they do it. Just like that, the Edomite said that they do social genocide, internet genocide, or social media genocide. And what happens is, you could be talking about, like he was saying, he was talking about defending Jake. He'll Edomite, and he'll come on. I think I shared a video with y'all, dude playing the guitar, and he'll be saying shit. That's the guy that said it. And he said, what happens is, Edomites will get on his comment board and say, in lover, in lover, in lover, in lover, in lover. And he has to go in there to delete them. Because if he doesn't, they're going to shut his video down. You know what I'm saying? You see how that works. You know what I'm saying? The word was so-called demonized because they was beating and robbing, and there was a lot of death associated with it through Esau. But then they created a law to say, oh, nobody say anything about it, and then they had another Edomite come up and say, what if I put it on everybody's comment? I could shut his page down by just putting inbound. You know? After JEOOs, after JEW, you can just put that on there to get people's page shut down. Okay? Just like the fucking the little baby puppet Kai Cenat. You know, dude came up and asked him about Kanye, and he straight rejected it. But he could get up and tell kids to do all kind of foolishness, doing backflips on computer desks, being loud and obnoxious, all right, being destructive, associating yourself with all kind of other celebrities doing wickedness, you know. But he act like oh man, I don't get into all that. I'm not that type of bad person. No, your asses don't want to be involved in something that Esau take your funds away from you. And again, that's where the money comes from. That money. not no actual hard work. All these niggas diddy bopping and running around shaking their ass ain't good for society at all. Okay? Half these niggas would be in a coliseum somewhere entertaining niggas laughing and be the fucking dunce of the world. Alright? But they started paying these niggas because there ain't nothing to fucking write to print off money and put it in your pocket so you can get the resources that I'm mass producing. How else I'm gonna get you to buy this big ass mansion? Everybody don't need no damn mansions. You know, I'm gonna give you this because I can't just give you the mansion because then I don't got you no more. I'm gonna give you this money so you can maintain this mansion. All right, and that money maintains the mansion. You know, yep.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 5. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceeded from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place.
And we're the rich, because the Revelation said, "Thou art poor, but thou art rich." Rich in what? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding the scriptures, man. We're rich in culture. All right. Now Esau, he's the folly that's set in great dignity. Okay. Like the type of shit that he does, the dances he come up with, the food he makes, okay, the stuff he eats and is willing to do. Really, he don't do nothing. He takes from other people. But if you put raisins and potato salad, man, you know, we joke about it, but they joke about eating watermelon. But y'all put raisins and potato salad, like watermelon and raisins and potato salad, like, you know. But then like the fried chicken, they y'all niggas like chicken, but y'all like chicken like a motherfucker. But the reason why they try to get on Jake, because Jake started making money off of selling chicken. Because chicken, when you fry it, when people travel, you can put it in your bag and you can travel far without it spoiling. And Jake created a business, and Esau undermined it with his propaganda to make Jake feel bad about fried chicken, man. You know what I'm saying? And then they turned around and sold it, man. You know? That's the type of shit that they do, man. They tell you, you know, not they got nigga acting like, you know, Colonel Sanders, 21 Reds. They stole that from a Jake. You know? Half these liquors they stole from a Jake. Ideas, dances, songs. There is no country, Israelites. Rock and roll, Israelites. Rap, Israelites. Soul music, Israelites. Jazz, Israelites. You know?
Did you send that video or did I run across it?
What's that?
It was a video. I think she Jake, but an Edomite looking chick, and she was just speaking about culture in general. There's no culture without Jake, man.
Yep.
There's no culture without Jake. From dressing, to music, to every fucking thing, bro. That's because the Lord said we the salt of the earth.
Yep,
you know?
Get that, man.
It's Matthew 5 verse 13. It says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted?"
Yeah, it'd be pointless at that point, you know? It'd be no, if you got saltless salt, flavorless salt, what's the purpose of using it? You can just throw that out, man. You know, and the thing is, when it comes to salt, you don't need that much. You don't need that much. A little bit will go a long way, man. And that's why everything that Israelites touch is gold. It turns to gold in a sense, man. All right, there's flavor with it and on it and throughout it. Okay, because this is how the Lord made us, man.
Yeah, we get flavor. We enhance things of the earth, man. Because these Hindu, everybody in India got all these spices, man. They can't fuck with us though. You know?
And they only got the spices because they in that land. That's the land here. Y'all had that land.
But if we go over there, India be popping, man.
Man. Hey, I know it's Jake over there. I'm sure Jake the one that came up with all of that.
The curry,
the cutty, all of that, man.
The chicken cutty.
Man, come on, man.
The turmeric and shit.
Yep, learning the properties of that is good for inflammation and all of that, man. You know Jake figured that out.
Yeah, and then they try to make you feel stupid for figuring shit out, but because they are licensed doctors and scientists, that they're right. Fuck you. Got me putting icy hot, and I could just put turmeric on my food. That's better than icy hot.
Or rubbing menthol, like peppermint, you know? That's all of that fucking Bengay and shit is. All of that Tiger Bomb and all. It's that is Smithall, man.
You know, we so stupid, but he got mixed fabric. The mixed fabric fuck you up, man.
Yep.
It fucks up your homeostasis. Because wool will do something to you, but then all of our clothes got microplastic in it. You know what I'm saying? Them jeans the bulk of jeans that you wear has some type of stretching, especially women's jeans and leggings. Leggings is killing you hoes, literally.
Yeah.
There's microplastics in that shit. You putting that shit on, that shit rubbing all on your skin. And if you think it's not a big deal, then go in icy hot. Just rub that on your skin. All right, if something can't go through your skin, see how fast it get inside your system. You know what I'm saying? Like I got some tiger bone. My back hurt. Have my rib, rub it in, and it'll numb my skin up, right? And you know it'll heal that pain. You know what I'm saying? Which shows that if you rub something on the skin, it could get into your system. So if you're walking around, no drawers on, and leggings, your vaginal area, it's just all up in there, man.
Yep.
You know? It's your socks. That's it. When you sick, what you do? Take some onion, wrap it around your foot, because that's what? The easiest place to absorb shit. And you got microplastics in socks. You know?
Your foot, all your organs is similar to your hands and your feet. You can do certain pressure points and things of that nature in your hands or in your feet to help out your your organs in your body, man. This is the Lord creating. This is why Esau can never amount. The Lord had it to be that, man. But as you were saying earlier, I believe you had said it, but we've come so far from how we used to do. Now Esau just here. He'll flick a pill at your ass, you know what I'm saying? Give you all of this bullshit. Here, drink some Theraflu, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, get you some lemon, some ginger, all right, some honey, okay, or some chamomile. You know, the brother said he was having, you know, he had problems sleeping a little bit. Took melatonin before, he was tripping out. I stopped using that shit too. And I said, hey, try this chamomile and this lavender oil, man. Put it in a diffuser. He said he slept pretty decent. It's all of these things, man. The Lord just don't do shit. You know, as the bro say, do things with a purpose. But a heavenly Father do things with a purpose, man.
Hey, let's get that. It says through much knowledge, the Lord, you know, had divided the worlds and created the worlds. You know what I'm saying? The waters don't pass their bounds. All right, things of that nature. You know, just like our shoes, bro. Like, I'm thinking about that. Like you said, pressure points. They could have it to where, like, the shoes aren't cushioned, or it pushes you in a certain way that it doesn't allow you to rest. Yeah. Just like they say, something as simple as a bed, bro. Beds are supposed to be stiff because when you get on soft beds, your body ain't able to really rest.
Yeah.
Because you're not your bones is supposed to hold. It's supposed to lay flat. Yeah. But when you're in a bed and it's soft, you don't have no stability, so you kind of trying to hold yourself up while you sleep. Yeah, so ultimately, you're not really getting no fucking rest, man.
And you got some people who said they've increased their sleeping hours and far as pain and thing by using what they call Japanese mattresses, man. Which is like a little thin mattress, and they will lay on the floor. But you gotta pay $2,500 to $3,000 for this mattress, and then you need the bed frame, and you need all of that shit, man. But you can just
make it yourself,
man. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But you can't cut a tree down. Let me find you cutting a fucking tree down to make you a damn bed. I'll fuck you up. Who gave you the permit to do that? Yep. You better get some of my money and go buy my product before you do some shit on your own. Okay?
I got you. Can I read a little bit? Yeah. It's Ecclesiasticus 33:8. It says, by knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished. I go up to 7. Why doeth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day is in the years of the sun? By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished.
And is this a thing? Why one day excelleth above another? Everything has its place. Night has its place. Day has its place. Melatonin kicks in at night at sundown. You ain't supposed to be moving around and working this shit. That's a wrap, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why is winter existed? Because it gives the land time to fucking rest.
Yeah.
But your ass want to go to Hawaii and keep pumping resources out of the earth. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to Afghanistan, Argentina. This nigga can't go nowhere, bro. He finds something new, he gonna weaponize it or use capitalism to manipulate the people, man. Okay?
It says, by the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts.
Yeah, see? So let's get the word distinguished. Baba Kushah and etymology.
It says distinguished, recognized as different or distinct from what is contentious or similar. Perceive, make out, to separate between, keep separate, mark off, distinguish, separate by pricking.
Yeah, Esau's trying to do a one world government. He's not trying to have any distinguishment.
Yeah, yep.
Okay? Only distinguishes the elite and the rest of the world.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's distinguished. Outside that, they're trying to merge religion. They merge genders, not only through the alphabet, but through education. You got men and women sitting in a room learning the same way. Boys don't operate the same way as girls. They don't learn the same way. So why are we in the same school learning the same way?
Yep.
Boys are hands-on. Give me something. Let me see how to figure it out. Girls can sit in circles and do all that shit. That ain't what we do. But then when you sit us in the environment, now you got another outlet. I'm gonna say you got ADHD. So I'm gonna give you this medication. So not only I got you doing some dumb shit, but I'm gonna give you this supplement to make your ass stupid. Okay, now that you're dumb, now the girls are excelling. Oh, they're the smarter ones. No, they're not.
Yeah.
They just women. They rather sit down and look at something for hours.
Exactly.
You know? We be on a plantation there, the chick they used to be doing our job, and she's like, be in there just sitting, don't do nothing. I'm like, I can't see how you can sit around all day.
Well, that's where most of the women is. They secretaries, you know, sitting their ass down. They in the office. They in HR,
Doing nothing.
doing nothing, bro.
Doing nothing, man. Just maintaining something. Maintaining a system that's been built. Pressing a button to open the door. She ain't build the concept of the door and the button and all that. She just there to press the button. As long as she can sit there and make her money, she's content with sitting on her ass. Because that's her thing. That's, you know, women are built to just sit the fuck around.
And that's by nature, right? See, and that's the thing. This society goes against nature. And women and men in this society, they don't really understand. Like, you know, I was talking with the brother about so-called cheating. It's just a man naturally want and need and would prefer more women because that's how we were designed by nature, by the distinguishing of the Lord, man, between men and women. Women, now, because that's why in this society, when you so-called cheat on a woman, she'll take you back multiple times. Because by nature, she's used to having one man.
Women will leave a man because they got cheated on and go deal with a nigga that's dealing with another man. You know? I mean, deal with a nigga that's dealing with another woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll have a hot girl summer after you left a dude that was cheating on you, so-called, and go and be fucking with niggas that are messing with a bunch of women.
Yep.
That's an oxymoron.
Very much so.
You know? Because Esau gave you drunk of his wine. Oh, man, that man's supposed to be for me. And since you're not for me, I'm just going to give my body to everybody. Until I feel like finding a man that's just for... What? You might as well just reconcile with your husband. Because he ain't no different from the niggas you fucking with in the hot girl summer.
Yep.
Except that he will take care of you. You know? And he ain't just recklessly just doing it.
So you stop being a main to one nigga to go be a side for another nigga.
That's a downgrade.
Woo!
Just for the mental freedom. You know? I don't got to cook and clean up for nobody. But that's your nature.
Yeah.
You know? Sometimes you get frustrated in your nature. Sometimes it be hard to be a man. You don't feel like being a man all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, I need the tire change. You're like, fuck. But you're a man, you're gonna go do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Grass need to be cut, man. Fuck, it's hot out. Supposed to rain the next 3 days. I gotta knock this shit out.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, women can cut grass too. Yes, you fucking can. But how many women over men you see cutting grass?
Yeah,
I can plant some fucking flowers too. I can go and cook too.
Because you can don't mean you should.
Yeah.
I did that one video. They had the Asian chick walking with some heavy bags. He said, "Oh, this is getting heavy. I'm gonna put them down now." And then had the dude carrying the same shit. Said, "If I put it down, I'm gay." It's like he kept walking. Yeah, he's like, "Nah, bro, I just can't put it down."
Yeah.
Because it's like men hold. We're different, man.
I need this.
Yeah. But we get that in Romans, where it says, through much knowledge they knew not the Most High, but you can get what you got.
Con. This, I'm gonna finish this. It says, I'm gonna just jump to the point. Ecclesiasticus 33.
Get on, brother.
Okay. Ecclesiasticus 33:9. Some of them hath he made high days and hallowed them, and some of them hath he made ordinary days.
Yeah, so there's some days that are high holy days. You know what I'm saying? Passover, Purim, Hanukkah. You know what I'm saying? Different, feasts of fruits. Different days that the Lord, the Sabbath, that the Lord is hallowed, and there's certain things you do on those days. Okay? Rainy days, storms, whether there's days that are good days and days that are bad days, but that's what make life.
A balance.
Yeah.
It says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge, the Lord had divided them and made their ways diverse.
He made our ways diverse. He made fruit diverse. He made different animals, meats diverse. Right?
Yeah, the nutrients you get from an apple is different from the nutrients you get from an orange, man.
Yep.
All right?
The nutrients you get from the sun is different from the nutrients you get from the moon.
Yep.
You know?
It says, some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them hath he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You can't get mad at that. You can't get mad at the potter. You can't get mad at the.
As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best.
Everything has a purpose. A cheetah ain't meant to fucking be spliced with no damn lion. Everything has its purpose, and it's okay.
Yeah, and it's okay. Ooh, that's a lesson. And it's okay.
Yeah, everything has its purpose, and it is okay, man. Like, why gotta be a problem? Why you gotta enhance something that you can't even reproduce right? Esau, like the fucking mingle with his own.
Yeah.
Inbreeding, making each other retarded. But then your ass want to say a tiger ain't enough. But you don't even know how to reproduce as a regular human being in y'all base form.
Let's make a liger.
Try to advance somebody else's reproduction, and you reproduce and culture in its fucking worst way.
Yeah, fringing, nigga.
Who got that Roman?
I got the
I'm about to say, I think they go right with it.
I got it's Romans chapter 9 and verse 20. It says, I'll start with 19. It says, thou wilt say unto me, why doth he have find fault, who hath resisted his will? Nay, O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
Like a pig and a goat. Now I was also looking for the through much knowledge they knew not the Most High. I think it's like in chapter 1.
God.
That was just a reinforcement of what we were saying, which is cool.
This is Romans chapter 1 and verse 25. It says, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator,
Yeah, so people start serving themselves, man. You know? Oh man, this is sweet, but what if I make it really sweet? You know? This is fun, but what if I make it really fun? Be content. Okay? The Lord said, don't be too insatiable upon meats or any dainty thing. Let's get that. You're supposed to have some self-control, man. All right? Like I said, I'm not talking about bananas, but bananas ain't meant to be eaten and produced all fucking day, every day, man.
Ecclesiastes 37:29. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and suffering will turn into choler.
And that word satiable means that can be satisfied. So being unsatiable is being unsatisfied.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta eat pork. There's goat. Nigga, there's giraffe. Okay? One giraffe will feed a village for a while, man. You know? Jake out here knocking off cows back to back and then throw the meat away. Because all this shit ain't being used. It's just mass produced. Then when they throw it away, you can't, like we work at a milk factory. All that milk, we be throwing hella milk away. But you can't take the milk home when it's about to spoil because that's a tax write-off for them. So they have to throw it away because if they don't, it really would lower the value of that milk. Because the more you milk you give away, niggas will just wait and get the milk that's about to spoil, and then people stop buying milk as much in the grocery stores, and then you know what I'm saying, the milk will be cheaper. You know, so this is why they hiking prices up and creating rarity, because they want people to believe that things are it's not in abundance. You know.
I got a
Bible sure.
This is Psalms 94 and verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?
Yeah, that's what they do. They frame of mischief by law. Like I said about the drapetomia, you know what I'm saying? Saying niggas is bugged out if they want to be, don't be a slave. If they got a mental disease, you know, ADHD. You want effeminized men, so you start giving them medication. That nigga do one backflip, it's over with. You know?
You see him climb on the bench? Yeah, I hope he do. Yeah, oh yeah.
Do one athletic move. You know, because they don't want men.
Yep.
They thought they got rid of them in the wars. Sending them out to the bullshit. Okay? They thought they got rid of the bulk of the men. But you can't control the spirit of a man. The Lord does.
And as the Lord say, he stirs up the spirit, man. Meaning to awaken and rise up. So it's just something that needs to be unlocked. And the Lord, that's why he has his remnant. That's why you can't destroy the cluster of the grapes, because the Lord has his remnant. He has the ones who he's dealing with. Mm-hmm. You know, even in when the scriptures speak about shall be uproars of the people, the Lord stirred them spirits up, man. There's because ain't like we gonna be out there throwing Molotov cocktails and going one-on-one with tear gas. Hell no. Right. But the Lord he gonna not eventually they're gonna be like, man, fuck this, and they gonna rally up, man.
Like Magneto said, that's why the pawns go first.
Woo!
Yep.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite parts of that movie, bro.
Before I got toasted, that's why the pawns go first. All right, bro, let's go.
Quick precept. So Ecclesiastes 8 verse 8. There's no man that have power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither hath he power in the day of death.
Yeah, so you can't control the spirit of man. You can't keep them alive. The Lord want to take their ghosts, he'll just shut their shit off, turn their TV off, as Kendrick said.
Yeah. You know? And that's the thing, the Lord just, at times you can read in the Bible where the Lord just take it. Yeah. They just drop dead. Like
you might go look and open their body up and say his heart stopped.
Yeah.
It's a heart attack.
Yup.
You know?
Lord,
the Lord killeth and he maketh alive.
Man.
You know? But they've grown so wise that they can open your body up and say the cause of it, so they believe, it's because your ass was drinking too much, you know, apple juice or some dumb ass shit like that. And really, the Lord decided to get your ass up out of here, man. All right?
Like a fear and severe. They just dropped. They gave up the ghost, holding back the bread. You know.
Yep.
Oh, that was that precept as well.
That's it.
No, it still was more to that Romans.
Yeah.
Back in Romans chapter 1, it says back in verse 25, it says, "Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affection. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burning their lust one toward another."
Man, these niggas think love, man. Like they think it's stupid now. The niggas talk, you know, like to talk it to a reality. The reality is reality. If you were born and you take your clothes, if my son come out the womb, you know what I'm saying, and he walk around until he about 4 years old, he gonna look different from my daughter. Okay, not saying that they do that. My point is that without no man touching them, they're gonna grow up looking a certain way. They're gonna grow up acting a certain way. No matter, even in a good way. I can pray and I can do I can physically do what I can. I can make my child read the scriptures and, you know, train them up. But it's on the Lord if he wants them to be a child of God or not, man. You know, nobody has control over that fight, man. Which is the spirit. You don't got control on keeping the spirit in your body. That's like the Lord grabbing you by your ankles and start pulling your spirit. You can't, nah, not yet. And then zip your fucking, you know, the fuck out of here. The Lord just pluck, bump, your ass astral project, and then they send you on up.
Like
Can't do nothing about it, man.
off Avengers when she hit the Hulk.
Yeah, knocked his ass out. Literally knocked him out. So spiritually knocked him out. Yeah. Set his ass down. And the Lord has that type of power, man.
Mm-hmm. And he gonna give us that type of power.
Mm-hmm.
One would be straight fatality, but
smack humility in the niggas, man.
That's the spirituality right there.
Scoosh.
Yeah.
You said what?
We'll make that same sound too, bro. You just walk around like this. You come in the country looking at, they gonna know about you. Who want what?
That's gonna be on your gates.
Who around here talking about that Buddha shit, huh? Ooh.
You little shit, walk around, somebody getting proud to rub them on their head, son them, make them humble. You know, in the spirit.
Man,
I could do what you do. Not like you do, though. You the man. All Israel's a man. You know.
Like
Send his
you
ass
said
on the way.
yesterday. He's the man.
He's the man. Yeah. You know, the Lord gonna give us that power that Esau's trying to scientifically acquire.
Yes, sir.
All right, through riches and what it says,
Injuries
and riches gotten by deceit. The Lord's gonna give us that without deceit, without injuries. All right, we ain't gonna have to. We could sword the plowshares. Like I said, we could just tap, hey, boom, boom, that boy, poof, it just fall, boom. You know what I'm saying? And then we tell him, get up. Spirit come back in and stop playing with me, man.
Yeah.
Without hurting him, man.
Make her remember what happened and shit.
Send him to the third heavens. Reprove him. Have the angels reprove him there. Get his mind right. Bring him back. Get him in his body and go back to work, man. Go back to his life.
Yeah, like Heliodorus, he was a witness against the power of the Lord, man.
He was there.
He was a whole witness of the power of the Lord. Yeah, he probably went up there like, damn, this looks good, but how did I get here?
He was there. He had hands-on experience. You know? Or the hands-on him experience.
Hands-on him experience, you know?
Punch that boy down, man.
Man.
On both sides, man. You know?
He had to have gotten his memory because shit, he went and told Antiochus what happened.
Because when you get knocked out, you don't remember that shit.
Damn,
You don't remember that. You don't remember that
Damn.
shit.
They either let him remember or let him see. Gave him a whole vision. He walking back seeing everything. Damn.
They probably was beating his ass, give him liver shots, hit him with the blade, you know. You know what I'm saying? The Dudley boys and that
Yeah.
boy. I'm to that boy, you know?
Oh, damn. Ran him over
Bird,
with
have he astral projector? Yeah, they got their horses trapped with them.
You know the horse to do
Yeah,
that.
them motherfuckers will get busy on your ass. I seen that shit. They did that to
Man.
like a dog or something. Was on that boy, tearing that dog up. Dog thought he was in shit to that first kick. That boy got flipped. Said, Lord, it's over with. You know?
I'm gonna go read that before the day over with. I gotta
That's
read
a
that
good
once
old-
a week.
Hey, that's some good old juicy juice right there. You know, non-GMO juicy juice. Heliodorus story. I read that story about Heliodorus, man. Invigorates the spirit. The was the mother with the, I always say seven, was it 5 sons? Seven sons. You know, then the old I forget his name. Eleazar, man.
Yep.
You know, integrity, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, but yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So with that being said, we're gonna give all praises
Unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chafadash.
I want to say double honor to our apostles, to our elders who rule well. Blessed salutation to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
I look at it.